let's do a deep dive. Let's dive into the psychology of you, the viewer, as well as me, the content creator. Let's see what we have in common. I think this is interesting. I'm someone who has, I've been doing these videos for 10 years now. I've had this channel, and I unironically appreciate the comments that come in, even if they're meant to try to get me off center or get me agitated. To me, I feel like there's some truth in those comments, even if they're meant more of as like a heckle. I can find some sort of way to grow or learn from that, or at least to learn something new. So I do want to share this comment that I got on a recent video I made, which is done pretty well. It's called "Shave Your Head and Then Feel Clean." And undeniably, you shave your head, there is something clean feeling about it, even if you don't realize that you wanted that. No, you absolutely feel clean, low maintenance. It's just a great psychological feeling. And so someone left this comment. They said, quote, "I'm surprised you're not tapping into Looksmaxxing Grift yet with your MOG maxed Natty physique," end quote. So I had to Google that. I had to unpack some of those words to really understand what that meant. So he's saying that I should basically lean further into this certain idea of this very masculine man, but to really look at the nuance of this. So looks maxing, in other words, what I've said consistently for years is I've said, work with what you've got, and he mentioned Natty, natural. I very openly opposed getting a hair transplant or getting any kind of surgery or anything like that. Work with what you got naturally. That's always been my whole thing. So there's that. Okay, Natty, well, physique. Okay, and yeah, I openly, we all know I'm at the gym 5 days a week and I run a 5K 5 days a week. We know that. So there's the physique part, doing it naturally, not taking hormones or anything like that. I do take a lot of supplements and I eat a certain way, but it's all natural. As far as MOG max, so MOG was something new for me that I had to Google. So this is me learning just a few minutes ago before I started shooting this. But it's short for mogul. So I think the concept is there's guys on the internet who they're trying to sell this program. They'll reel you in with certain ideas, like you want to attract females to you based on not chasing them. They have to kind of chase you. It's concepts like that. And being in control of your lust, so that you're not a slave to your lust, and retention. We could go on a whole thing. And these same guys, and I'm not putting them down at all, but some of them are a little bit comical in the way that they want you to pay them a lot of money and then kind of join their cult. Some of them do it very well, and I respect that. Others, it's like, well, you're not quite there yet. You're just trying to be like the guys who are trying to make the money and who are doing it successful. I guess I'm aware that there's wannabes and then there's guys that are doing a great job of it. I'm not here to pass judgment. I don't care. Good for them either way if they can make money doing that. But there's this concept of they're this mogul, or another explanation of MOG is man of God, which I kind of touched on that a moment ago. And I've mentioned this, being in control of the 7 deadly sins, specifically lust being one of those. So this idea that when you're more disciplined, you have more willpower, you ultimately become more attractive. And especially if you are, as I say, working with what you've got and making your appearance, your physical appearance, as masculine as possible without becoming overboard with it. But at the same time, matching your outside physical appearance in a masculine way internally with a masculine mindset, again, where you're very disciplined on the inside and out, and you are in control of the 7 deadly sins, retention, etc. So, those things are true about me. That is how I live my life. I guess the difference for me is I don't have a program to sell you or a community to join. Join the other guys' communities. But for me, I am, I'm part of that mold. So the funny thing is the person who left this comment, I guess they're not wrong, I guess is what I should say. I should even make when I make the video and I put the words up, I should say, you're not wrong. Yeah, that is who I am. And I make I don't know, $100 or so off of these videos just from the ads alone, but I don't need to sell you anything beyond just the ads that come on naturally. But I do think it's interesting. We are seeing this, that as far as in American society specifically, we have seen, and I've talked about this for years, where there are people who are born as male and they're not embracing it. They're going gender fluid or whatever it is and getting soft and all this stuff, like becoming betas and whatever. And then those of us who are paying attention are like, well, if they're doing that, they're making my job easier. So why don't I enhance the masculinity even more and I'll stand out even more? And I've mentioned that on a recent video that women specifically don't want to stand out. They want to fit in. They want to be like each other. Men do need to stand out. Specifically, not only to be attractive, but really as far as a form of I would say, identity as a man. Like, it's never been easier than it is right now if you put forth that discipline. So yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, this is someone who's, I think, heckling me, but like, I'm not disagreeing at all. Like, I basically am everything he said in the comments. I'm not ashamed of it. I fully embrace it. Perhaps I'm a little bit more subtle and honest and direct about it. But we have seen that transformation. I mean, if you were to go back 10 years, how I looked and even acted 10 years ago, then you would see that this transformation has taken place. I think also, though, it's safe to say, now I'm 44, I was 34 when I started doing these videos, and there's a certain maturity that hits by your late 30s, early 40s. So now that I'm in my mid 40s, I can specifically see how my mindset has matured and changed and become more masculine by default. And also my physique has as well. All these habits have sort of matured together. And one of the ways I've mentioned that I feel that I've evolved more into a masculine mindset is, what is masculine energy? Quiz. It is being calm and stable and logical, whereas feminine energy is emotional turmoil, chaos and conflict. So the more you mature as a man, the more you become opposite of that female energy, and the more that you learn as a man how to be the rock for the female, because you're the opposite of that feminine energy. You're the opposite of chaos, conflict, emotion, turmoil, because you're stability and calm and you're logical. And you can reflect their emotion back to them without becoming that emotion or trying to ultimately stop them from living in that moment of chaos, because men need to be the emotional leaders for females. So it's things like that. Like, I didn't know that a decade ago, but if you're a man who's maturing and focused on self-improvement, you're going to get to that point. You're going to figure that kind of on your own, and then your YouTube algorithm is going to help you get there as well. I'd love to hear from you. I think this is very interesting, and I think it's very relevant. Keep those comments coming right here.